Okay, so you want me to say, give me an example. Okay. Purple rose up to their full height. Indigo spoke much more quietly than all the others. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I think that's a very good idea.
All right, let's do it. When love comes over you, love comes over you. Yep, cool. Not too loud. I like it. Where am I at? There I am.
Of course, I'm not going to put paper next to the candle. A volume test with the microphone.
Hello, hello.
That sounds amazing. And will you come up here and speak for me? And you can come up after walking with us to Pasadena. That one and the home. Yeah, okay. Thank you. I feel fine. So I think I'm good. I'm just feeling cautious today. It feels like a bad day. I know. It's like if you're gonna get it, now it's kind of a good time to get it, just in terms of the vaccine. I think you will. Go, oh, we please do. Well, I mean, what's the starting? Yeah. Yeah. So just, or you could sit and then.
It's super visible, but it's there.
Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. Hello and welcome to our friends joining us on the live stream. This month's worship theme is Emerge, and we are using the symbolism of a butterfly all month to explore the slow, lifelong process of emerging into all of who we are meant to be. And our Throop congregation encourages you to continue to emerge, and us as a church community to continue to emerge. And one way we will do that is through our annual congregation meeting, which will be on Sunday, June 4th at 12:30. You'll have an option to participate here, well, not in this room, but in the fireside room, and you can also join us online. We'll be offering a hybrid congregation meeting again this year, and if you are a Throop member, you'll receive a meeting packet at the end of this week. So exciting! You'll have something amazing to read on Friday. And then also, we are going to have a special pre-annual meeting. Hooray! And that will take place on Sunday, May 21st from 12:15 until 12:45 in the fireside room. It'll be a hybrid option, so you'll be able to join us in person, yes, or online. And there was just like a really excited yay over there by Brad Wallace, who we hope is going to help us set up the hybrid option. Brad, by the way. And at our pre-annual meeting, you will be considering and voting on a bylaw change, which would increase the size of our Throop Board of Trustees from 5 to between 7 and 9. You all, our Board of Trustees needs more friends on it. Hello, that'll be just welcoming more people and expanding the range and voice of our board. And there'll also be a time at that meeting for you to hear, look at the budget, and also to ask any questions you may have about next year's proposed budget. And then on a less light note, and who would ever have thought that a congregational meeting would be the light note in the announcements, but today it was. But on a more serious note, some of you may have heard that in the last 2 weeks, there have been 2 houses of worship in Pasadena that have been vandalized or that have received serious threats because they are LGBTQ, because they are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer and questioning, affirming, and welcoming congregations. Our hearts are, of course, with those communities. And today after service, the social justice team has a couple of cards, and you'll be invited to sign your name or write a note of support in those cards. Jeannie Brown here today is coordinating that. And again, those cards will be available in Throop Hall at our coffee and conversation. That's just through the back doors. And we will be paying attention in the next many weeks to see if there are other ways that we can show up and be supportive. And every Sunday, we remind ourselves that each one of us is a light in the world, and that the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of hope and witness. Awaken to what lies ahead of you along the path. Reach out to the new, reach out toward where you're going and where you're growing. Awaken your sense of trust even when life feels uncertain. May an embrace of love brighten your pathway, beckoning you to emerge into renewed life again and again. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and is still the home of Gabrielino Tomba Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
Thank you, Mariah. And we join in our opening hymn, Wake Now My Senses. It's number 298. And please rise as body and spirit allow for 298.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime.
And turn to your neighbor and welcome them into worship today.
Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the whole sky. Take him to end. Wake now, my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Wake now, my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiancy. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work towards a planet transformed by your care.
Today's responsive reading is Let It Be Done by Monica Cummings. The congregational response is, I know my soul will unfurl its wings and emerge to renewed life. I know my soul will unfurl its wings and emerge to renewed life. Those can also be found in your order of service. The story of faith is not one of arrival, but of journey. The new butterfly's struggle to push out of its confines produces a fissure that cannot be undone. There's no going back. The journey opens into the light of a new day. I know my soul will unfurl its wings and emerge to renewed life. Keep us mindful that we are all related, that when one of us is ignored and treated with disease, we all suffer. Today, let each of us commit to welcome the stranger. Let us move beyond our comfort zones and connect with people labeled different and pushed to the edges of society. I know my soul will unfurl its wings and emerge to renewed life. We can make a difference. We can transform lives. We can bring harmony and healing to the places and spaces where we live, work, and play. I know my soul will unfurl its wings and emerge to renewed life. Let us keep our hearts and minds open and receptive to the still, small voice that calls us to stand witness for those who cannot stand, to speak the truth for justice, those without a voice, and to lead the way on the journey toward wholeness for those without sight. In the spirit of love, compassion, and community, let it be done. I know my soul will unfurl its wings and emerge to renewed life.
And as we think about emerging into new life, we hear the story of the rainbow, and we have Throop players to help tell the story today. Thank you so much, all of you. Once upon a time, all the colors in the world started to quarrel. Each claimed that they were the best, the most important, the most useful, the favorite. Green said, clearly, I am the most important.
I am the sign of life and hope. I was chosen for grass, trees, leaves. Without me, all the animals would die. Look out over the countryside, and you will see that I am in the majority.
Well, Blue interrupted.
You think only about the earth, but consider the sky and the sea. Water is the basis of life, and it is pulled up through the clouds into the blue sky from the blue sea.
The sky gives space and peace and serenity. And without my peace, you all would be nothing but busybodies.
Oh, Yellow chuckled at that.
You are all so serious. I bring laughter, gaiety, and warmth into the world. The sun is yellow. The moon is yellow. The stars are yellow. Every time you look at this sunflower, the whole world starts to smile. Without me, there would be no fun.
Well, Orange started to blow their own trumpet.
I am the color of health and strength. I may be scarce, but I am precious, for I serve the inner needs of human life. I carry all the most important vitamins. Think of carrots and pumpkins, oranges and mangoes and pawpaws. I don't hang around all the time, but when I fill the sky at sunrise or sunset, my beauty is so striking that no one gives another thought to any of you.
Red could stand it no longer.
I'm the ruler of you all. Blood is life. I'm the color of danger and of bravery. I'm willing to fight for a cause. I bring fire in the blood. Without me, the earth would be empty as the moon. I'm the color of passion and love. Red roses, poinsettias, and poppies.
Purple rose up to his full height.
I am the color of royalty and power. Kings, chiefs, and bishops have always chosen me, for I am a sign of authority and wisdom. People do not question me, they listen and obey.
Indigo spoke more quietly, but just as determined.
Think of me. You all become superficial. I represent thought and reflection, twilight and deep waters. You need me for balance and contrast, for prayer and inner peace.
And so the colors went on boasting, each convinced that they were indeed the best. Their quarreling became louder and louder. And then suddenly, there was a startling flash of brilliant white lightning. Thunder rolled and boomed. Rain started pouring down relentlessly. The colors all crouched down in fear, drawing close to each other for comfort. And then Rain spoke. You foolish colors, fighting among yourselves, each trying to dominate the rest. Do you not know that God made each of you for a special purpose, unique and different? Each one of you is loved. We want all of you to join hands with one another and go together. Let's stretch out across the sky, holding hands, rising up, stronger together than you would ever be alone, and stretch out proudly across the sky in a great bow of color as a reminder that we are all loved, that creation is all love, and we can live together in peace. And today, our color green is leading our children's program where they will hopefully not quarrel and hopefully there won't be a surprise rainstorm, but in all of their beauty will create a rainbow together. And we sing them into their program. And if you're a new family and want to check that out, parents, you are welcome to go and be with your child. And the words to our songs in the order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace.
pondering today is The Butterfly Effect by Teresa I. Soto. I wish the knowledge were easier to come by, that individualism is just a scam, that you are always the butterfly wings. You are always the storm. Edward Lorenz, the weather scientist from MIT, is sometimes misquoted on this as the premise that the flap of a butterfly wing can cause a hurricane in a different part of the world. Shorthand that isn't all that close to a representation of the math-turned-weather scientist's world. He proposed that should we make even a tiny alteration to nature, we will never know what would have happened if we had not disturbed it, since subsequent changes are too complex and are too entangled to restore to a previous state, which is to say that you have an immeasurable effect on the system. It will change, and you will shape its DNA. You must not believe the lying lie that you do not matter, that whatever change you organize is so insufficient as to be worth your time, your energy, your life force. You must be willing to dream a dream that carries forward your community. This is how we rise. This day is polluted with a mistrust of truth, fertile and warm medium for unchecked cruelty and power. You must choose to scream that truth until every leaf and stone bears unrepentant witness to what happens when you try to cage and smash and pin and frame a butterfly. And their thousands and thousands of fabulous and flamboyant friends.
And we sing together, We Would Be One. And for those of you in the room, just a reminder that the hymn numbers are on the hymn board. And thank you, Taryn, for attending to that each Sunday. And you can remain seated as we sing together.
We would be one as now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free.
This church is ours and brings us together to become a greater sense of one community. And we support it through our gifts of time and talent and treasure.
Today, if you would like to offer a donation, you can do that online. The ways are in your order of worship. You may also make a gift here in the room. Brad will drop the link into the live stream chat. And if you're offering a donation here in the room and you would like your gift to count toward your pledge, or if you would like to receive a statement for your giving, we ask that you use a green envelope and put your name on it. Thank you for all of the ways you support our life together. Paula is gratefully accepting the offering.
Lately I've been running on faith. What else can a poor boy do? But my world will be right when love comes over you. Lately I've been talking in my sleep. I can't imagine what I'd have to say, except my world wouldn't be right without love coming back your way. I've always been one to take each and every single day. Seems like by now I find a love who cares just for me. Then we'd go running on faith. All of our dreams would come true, and our world will be right when love comes over me and you. Then we'd go running on faith. All of our dreams would come true, and our world would be right when love comes over me and you. When love comes over me and you. When love comes over me and you.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those supporting today's worship service. We thank Brad, our live stream operator, and Mariah for offering the chalice lighting words, Dave leading the children's program, Marissa offering readings this morning, Paula serving as usher and greeter, Cynthia, our coffee and conversation host, and our Throop players, aka the Rainbow this morning. That's Terry and Dave, George, Rachel and Fiona, Matthew, Ripley, and Dre. Also, Megan with your inspiring music and leadership and connection with our choir, Villery for administrative support, and then two people who were ready to step into the wings this morning. I thought I might be testing positive for COVID, because why not? But I'm negative, it's good. But that's why I'm staying in the pulpit and far back from people today. But I do want you all to know that Lynn and Marissa were ready to take over worship this morning, and I thank you so much for saying yes to that, and you all would have been in very good hands had that needed to happen. And as we give thanks for this morning's offering, we share the response to the offering words, and those are in your order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And each Sunday, we follow that with some love to our planet. We share together the promise to our planet. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by our Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, with hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to support its sacred and scarce resources. We promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. And as we hold that sense of gratitude in our hearts and in our minds, we join together in our centering hymn, I Know This Rose Will Open, number 396.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
And with the sense that our souls and ourselves will continue to open, continue to emerge, I invite you to take a gentle breath in. Exhale. And take a breath in. As you exhale, know that in this space you are welcome, you are safe, you are loved, and you are supported. Breath of life and breath of love. May we be open to the cries of change in our lives and in our communities. May in our daily living we find the strength to be present to the needs of the world and to the needs of one another. At times we know that despite our best intentions, we do not live into our values. And when that happens, we ask to be forgiven and guided toward integrity and wholeness of being. Deliver us from all that seeks to harm. May compassion shine into the cracks of our broken, open worlds. May the joy of transformation come to each of us. May hope unfurl in our hearts as we open into the light of life and the light of love. For all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A tender lover's smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest, yes, I suggest to you, yes, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. And this is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest, yes, I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. This is a song with a request of you to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life.
February 16th, 2023, the first reading of California Assembly Bill 1314, which would require teachers to notify parents if a student requests a change in gender. April 22nd, 2023. A handful of people disrupted a drag queen story hour at the Sherman Oaks Public Library, yelling hate speech at families and children who were participating. April 25th, 2023, a rainbow pride flag hanging outside of the Pasadena Buddhist temple was burned and blackened to shreds. May 4th, 2023, a bomb threat and a gun threat was sent to All Saints Episcopal Church, Pasadena, threatening violence because that congregation is affirming and welcoming of gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning people. As of last Wednesday, the American Civil Liberties Union was tracking 471 anti-LGBTQ bills in the United States. These bills target all aspects of a person's existence: obtaining accurate IDs, basic civil rights, free speech and expression, healthcare, public accommodations, schools, and education. We in Pasadena and California often point to other states, ones like Florida, Arkansas, Arizona. We point at them and we wonder, how is it that these things happen there? Who are those people? And how do those people get elected into positions of power? Yet proposed legislation and actions meant to dehumanize and diminish some people's very existence happen in our own state and in our own zip code. And as hard as these things are for any of us to hear, they land especially heavily on our folks who identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning. This past week, I spoke with a church member who identifies as queer and how all of this makes them feel. They shared, it's scary. Each and every incident I hear about makes me feel unsafe. Even though I'm in California, which is pretty safe compared to other states. But I'm not out to my family, and so when these things happen, I'm not able to talk with them about it. There's a part of me that has to keep it in, act like I'm not personally impacted by it, that these things harm other people, but they don't harm me. And I can only imagine. Each and every time I hear about some new piece of legislation that's meant to diminish and demean someone who's LGBTQ, I want to hide. I want to create a cocoon, wrap myself up in layers of gauzy fabric, and wait for the day when this kind of hateful nonsense stops. And our queer siblings can be free to be all of who they are without any worry of harm or hurt. This month in worship, we're talking about the slow, lifelong process of emerging into all of who we are meant to be, all of who we want and desire to be, and carrying us through this theme is the image of a butterfly. Butterflies start out as caterpillars, of course, grazing on leafy greens. And at some point in the caterpillar's life, they too are filled with a desire to settle into a cocoon of their own making. They find a comfy spot. They begin weaving their chrysalis around them. As caterpillars, their vision is limited. Their eyes are only able to sense changes in the intensity of light, but no colors or distinct images. For any of us whose core identities are not directly impacted by hateful legislation or harmful acts, it's possible that, like the caterpillar, our vision too is limited. We can go about our days just shrugging aside a law in a different state that restricts access to life-saving, life-affirming health care. We can go about our day dismissing protesters at a drag queen story hour, a 25-minute drive from here. We can say that's just an isolated event done by a few fringe individuals. We can go about our day and assume that the burning of a pride flag at a religious home 4 miles from here, or a bomb threat at a church a few blocks from here, that those are just random acts of malice and destruction. If you are a person in the pew or at home who identifies as straight or heterosexual, it is imperative that we do not close our eyes and ignore these things. Do not mistakenly assume that because we are in the progressive state of California, that these acts do not take a physical, emotional, and spiritual toll on our friends and family who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and queer. Do not mistakenly assume that these acts are easily ignored, do not in some way threaten our loved ones' full emergence and embrace of their whole and holy and beautiful selves. When one of our troop members heard about the threat at All Saints, they sent me a message this morning. And they shared that these recent acts of hate in Pasadena and beyond have scared her transgender teenage grandchild. That this member's grandchild is being made to feel like a monster, and that as the family considers what school to send this teen to, they aren't considering what school has the best academics. They're not considering which school has the best programs, which school may have the best launching pad for this teen's next steps in life. They're considering which school is the safest for them to be in and day out. The Trevor Project is a nonprofit organization that focuses on suicide prevention efforts among LGBTQ youth. And in 2022, the Trevor Project released a report that found in California, 44% of LGBTQ youth seriously considered suicide in the past year. That is more than 3 times the estimate for straight youth. And it's not just our young people. The well-being of adults is impacted as well. Depending on where they live or where they work, LGBTQ adults report fears of losing their job or being denied a promotion if they come out at work. They report fears of being subjected to ridicule, intimidation, or physical abuse, which can lead to emotional distress, depression, and anxiety. If you're sitting in the pews or at home and you're hearing all this and you're thinking to yourself, well, okay, but you know what? I would never do that. I'm a straight ally and I really do my best in all areas of life. That's really what someone else needs to be thinking about. I invite you to realize that the way queer folks are diminished or not fully seen are sometimes done in subtle ways that are known as microaggressions, and they stem from a heteronormative way of looking at the world. And heteronormative is an attitude that heterosexuality is the only normal and natural expression of sexuality. And it assumes that most or all people are straight or cisgender unless stated otherwise. And some ways that heteronormative attitudes can show up are things like not asking someone how they met their partner or spouse, refusing to use the correct pronoun because it's too hard to remember, assuming that everyone is welcome in their family of origin, using gay or queer as a qualifier, such as my gay best friend. This can be tokenizing, and use it only if it's relevant to do so. And assuming someone's gender identity or sexuality by their appearance. For those of us identifying as straight allies, it is incumbent upon us to peer out of our cocoon, to note the ways that we are inadvertently perpetuating and centering the notion that heterosexuality is the norm. When caterpillars are nestled in their chrysalis, the transformation they undergo changes not only their bodily structure, but even their eyes. When caterpillars emerge as butterflies, they are gifted with a completely new eye structure that allows them to form images and take in a huge range of colors, even more than the human eye. Any of us who hold identities that are ones that are centered and normalized in the United States, identities such as being able-bodied, white, male, straight, cisgender, we must look outside of and beyond our cocoon, which has mistakenly been labeled as the norm. We must open our eyes and our hearts to the light and notice the incredibly beautiful and complex patterns of humanity. When another piece of legislation is passed, when another LGBTQ affirming space is disrupted, when the next pride flag is burned, we must choose to scream the truth until every leaf and stone bears unrepentant witness that every single person is whole and holy and beautiful, with the right to their own process of unfolding, emerging, and becoming. Remember that each one of you has an immeasurable effect on our world. You have hearts to imagine and eyes to see and hands to make real a world in which all people can flourish. You are always the butterfly wings. You are always the storm. Together, our wings create a rainbow of color. Let's stretch across the sky, a reminder that you are loved, that all of creation is loved. And we sing into that new way of being and vision with our closing hymn, The Fire of Commitment, number 1028. And I invite you to rise as body and spirit allow, number 1028.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, and our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
And place a hand on your heart and reach one out to someone in the room or on the live stream. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us. You are always the butterfly wings. You are always the storm. May your fire of commitment open you into the light and emerge into new life and new love. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen and blessed be. Please join us for coffee hour in Throop Hall. Did we? Oh, and for those of you that are still here, just a reminder that the Circle of Remembrance for Tom Hawkins will be at 12:30 on the patio.